Yo, what up, what up? It's your boy Big Brandon Carter. Big, your Brandon Carter. BBC. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brandon Carter. Give him a round of applause.
What up, man?
That's your intro, man.
That's nice, man. I might fuck around and use that for something.
Maybe, dude.
Yo, man, yeah, man. We got just the microphone. Sorry,
mic.
Yo, what up? This is my man Yahya, man. Yahya is a personal development coach.
Yes, sir. Motivational
speaker. He hosts, and we met because he hosted Elliot hosts his shout out to Elliot. Elliot hosts his non-jobs event, and I met, and I was like, man, this dude lives in Jersey, man. I need to introduce y'all to him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Thank you, man. It's an honor to be here, dude. I'm excited.
What exactly do you teach? You know, if you give some clarity, like what does a motivational speaker teach? When you're on stage, what are the topics you teach about, and how can you teach these guys some of this shit too?
This is great. So I'm not the type of guy who, I don't like to call myself a motivational speaker because I think motivational speakers are overrated. And you know, like it's like there's a lot of hype. I think motivation is like blowing air in a balloon, and eventually you get some height, but then reality pops you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I like to do is help people become more confident. Okay. You know, because a lot of people, regardless of their age, you know, they're getting bullied on, or they have low self-esteem. They don't feel good about themselves. They're worried about what other people are saying to them. So I basically go out there, share my personal experience of, hey, accept yourself and go out there and get shit done. You know, so it's like really that simple. So right now I'm in the process of creating my confidence course, theconfidenceblueprint.com, and that's kind of where I'm gonna dive in for people who see me on stage or see me on a YouTube video and go in depth to, you know, build that inner game of self-esteem and confidence.
So it's like an inner. All right. So how can you give them some tips? How can they become more confident? What's some things they can do?
Yeah. So I believe there are two types of confidence. There's fake confidence and there is real confidence. Right? Fake confidence are people who try, you know, they're kind of like arrogant. They try to bully, manipulate, dominate, control you, basically try to disempower you so they can feel more confident.
Right.
And then you got the real confidence. These are people who are very authentic. You know, they're very real, they're honest, they have their flaws and they accept it. And rather than try to disempower you, they inspire and empower you. Okay. So the way that I like to think of it is like, imagine you have two candles. Right? In the first type of confidence, the fake confidence, the arrogant type, your candle is lit and the other person is not. So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to persuade you, bully you, hate on you, criticize you until they come so close to the point where they light up their candle.
They're trying to light.
Yeah. So they light you.
Some people do that. Like, man, that's a strategy. That's a strategy that might work. Like if somebody like. I can see how that can work, especially like on like YouTube, like if maybe somebody's like channel could like blow up,
right?
If they like talk shit about everyone else in their niche, and then like they would feed off that person's energy, and search engine results, right? Because now you search and then you get them. And I'm just saying, I see how that can be.
Oh yeah, well it's the thing is, fake confidence works.
Yeah.
You can get girls. It's great in marketing. It's like positioning, posturing, that kind of thing. You know, like create this image that certain people want, and no shame or no blame or anything.
Yeah.
Like I do this at times too. That being said, if you go a little bit deeper and peel back the layer of the fake, the mask, personality means persona and persona means mask, right? So if you pull back the mask, then what you'll find is a level of real confidence where rather than trying to, you know, take another person's light, you see another person and they don't have their light and then you light up their candle and now you're two candles illuminating the darkness in the room. So, and that's what people like you do with your channel. You try to empower people. That's what people like Elliot do. That's what I try to do, inspire and empower people and other people out there.
Yeah, trying to be no negativity. If anything, like if I find somebody who's doing something cool, then I want to do something with them, and like especially if they're like their channel smaller than mine or something. Like for instance, like right now,
for a case in point,
or my boy Greg, or like anybody who's like, I just like, man, this dude is doing good work, man. Let's put it out there. Let's have more people see it.
And that's one thing that I admire about you, because you're secure in yourself to the point where it's not so much. There's nothing wrong with competition.
Yeah.
But you're not competitive. We were having this conversation at Strength Camp. It's like you're not trying to one up anybody. If anything, you're trying to one up another version of yourself. You know, you're trying to become the best version of yourself or whatever.
Yeah, man. I like when people do things better than me, because especially like they let me know what's possible. You know, like sometimes you like, for instance, the first guy, everyone thought, 4-minute mile. Impossible. No one's gonna be 4 minute. And one guy did it. The next thing you know, the same year, a bunch of other people did it just because Now it's like, oh shit, it's possible.
Right.
So like that's why when Elliot hit 100 million, I mean when he hit 1 million YouTube subscribers, I bought him a box of his favorite cigars. I was like, man, God, it's possible to do it without buying the traffic, you know, like fuck, it's possible. Yeah, like it was like I was hyped,
and it's inspiring.
But some people who see that shit and they're like, oh, how can I hate on that, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like depending on where you're coming from, right? If you're coming from a very insecure place, you're gonna look for other people, places, and things to fill you up. And a lot of people, they try to measure their self-worth with their net worth or their social worth, or you know how many girls they can sleep with, or how much money they're making. And if they're not able to produce or do whatever, they don't feel good about themselves. So that's the difference between human doing and human being, right? So what I'm trying to invite people to embody is this level of human beingness, where it's like, listen, go do your thing, get shit done, whatever you gotta do, grind, but you don't have to feel like shit about yourself if you're not producing. You're valuable without having to produce value.
Okay, no, I get that. But okay, for me, so like what I do to help accomplish my goals,
right,
is I you know, people, you know, psychology, people are always moving towards what their pleasure and away from pain.
Yes.
So I try to I call it shooting the hostage. It's a strategy, I mean. like if something's bad or something I want to improve, I emphasize the bad. I like to make it worse in my mind,
right?
Because I feel like I'm the kind of person that things. I move away from pain faster than I'll run towards. Especially because I'm especially when you reach a certain level of comfort, it's like it's harder to reach for more. But if you can make the pain, so how does that? I try to use that to my advantage.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's human behavior, right? Pain and pleasure principle. You either run away from pain or you try to chase pleasure. What I try to do. And this is hard because we're both achievers. We're high performers, and so our whole identity is based on how we do things. You know. So what I've learned, and this is the reason why you do Vipassana meditation, and I do guided meditation, Transcendental Meditation, all these different things. I try to increase the gap in the space between the pain and the pleasure. As I increase that, it's like you can't really hear music without the silence. Right. Otherwise, you hear just one note.
I know what you mean.
Right? And if you're constantly going, and there's no space in between, you're going to be stuck in an infinite loop of cycle of pain and pleasure, and it's a trap. So what if you were to untie that loop and become free? So meditation for me has been like, okay, create this space. So if you're experiencing anxiety, if you're experiencing self-doubt, if you're experiencing a lack of self-esteem, or you feel like people are judging or criticizing you, hold up, stay in that. Let it show up inside of you. Then act. Be with it. Instead of just running on automatic. Like when you drive, you can't go 40 miles per hour straight through. You gotta know when to stop and dance. A very powerful person, influential person, in my opinion, is someone who knows when to go and when to stop, when to pause. You know what I'm saying? So it's not this or that. It's not right or wrong. Do you know when you're being played and when things are playing you? You know, even with yourself. Forget about the external environment, because all it really is just a mirror, just a reflection for you to see yourself and accept yourself in better ways. So yeah, when it comes to confidence, I agree with you. Confidence is about competence, but there's also a dance between confidence and self-esteem, which is about self-worth.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
Totally different. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But they're intrinsically connected. So it's not about. Most people they confuse confidence with self-esteem, which is on point. That being said, it's like masculine and feminine energies. You need both in order to be able to dance. It's the chemistry behind them, right? So it's like what I like to do, what I've done is try to build my inner game from the inside out. Because when you think about it, growth can only happen from the internal, from the inside out. External stimulus tears up the muscle fibers in order for you to grow. So everything that you see that's outside, all the relationships, all the challenges, is just stimulus. It's just stimulus. Don't get distracted by that. Just stimulus, and then do whatever you gotta do to rest and grow.
Right. That's a good way to think about it. I think you need to, if something's going on in your life that you don't like, or you're having a hard time or struggling, that's good, right? Because like you said, when you lift to get bigger biceps, you gotta destroy the muscles.
Stimulus,
you gotta,
right?
And it's just like stimulus, or like for a seed to grow, you just gotta get dirt. It's gotta get covered in dirt. It's gotta get shoved in the ground and covered with dirt.
That's right.
And it's the same kind of thing. You gotta get rained on. You know, like that's what's gonna make it grow. And it's like that. Like if you're going through a struggle, it's like it's similar kind of thing. You know, okay. You tell me what you think, right? Yeah. I'm just a guy. What the fuck do I know? But I think like if someone is insecure about something, or they doubt their ability, they have self-doubt in a certain area, then they probably should, right? They're probably just not fucking good at it, right? Like honestly, like they probably like they that's sound that they're logical. They'd be delusional if like, you know, like I'm not a firefighter, right? So just building, to think that I would know how to put out a fire, right? Like I don't know shit about that. So like, why it'd be delusional? I mean, I might try it anyway to say to people, maybe it's not the best example, but it's the first thing that just popped in my mind. Like it'd be delusional for me to think that I could just do it, like just because I got so much confidence, I love myself, right? I'm so awesome, and you know, like.
Right. I hear you.
I think that's. I think
that's fake confidence. What you're talking about. People trying to be someone that they're not.
Yeah.
A real confident person, in my opinion, they embrace their weaknesses and their strengths. They know. Like, yo, I'm not good at this. You're probably a lot better than me. And I'll let that be, you know, to the experts. Exactly. This is my strength.
No, that's good. That's real. Exactly. That's real. That's real. Confident enough to say, hey, man, I'm not good at this. Right. Shit, or I need to improve in this area. Right. Like I hate when.
It's like trying to compare apples to oranges. So the way that I like to think of it, and this is what I share on my YouTube channel with a lot of people, is like if you were born an apple tree, okay, and your job is to produce apples for, you know, that's your dharma, that's your purpose, that's your blueprint. Your job is to produce apples. And then someone comes along the way and says, I fucking hate apples. I like every fruit and vegetable in this farm except this fucking apple. Yeah. And then if you're insecure about yourself, right? If you don't know who you are, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna try to please, perform, persuade, prove yourself to other people, especially that person, and say, what are you talking about? You know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. You're gonna try to polish your shit up. And it's like, you don't need that. If anything, you should just say, listen, I'm an apple, there's oranges, there's a bunch of fruits over there, go do your thing, I'm cool, and I'm gonna keep producing my apples.
Yeah, man, I make apples, that's what I do.
Right, exactly. So
you don't like apples, fuck you.
Exactly. And fuck you, and I don't need to be aggressive towards you either. You know, it could be, it's again, both. You know, because sometimes that's what
I come from that.
The aggressive.
Yeah, that's my.
I hear you, because you're a fighter. I'm trying to turn
that off a little bit. Like that's my default. Sometimes.
No, I hear you.
But no, you're right. You're right.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, dude. Yeah, man. So that's kind of like I'm about to do a video with for my channel is how to overcome the fear of rejection. Right, it's a big deal because a lot of people, you know, they think, oh man, they stall, they freeze because they're afraid of what other people are gonna think. Yeah. So my thing is like, don't try to overcome it, the fear. Understand the value that rejection offers, because here's the thing: if you understand these three words, accept, 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 EXCEPT, and expect, right, EXCEPT. If you understand these three words, accept, ACC, is receiving, you're allowing. Accept, EXC, is you're excluding, you're leaving out. And expect is basically you're looking forward to something. So the way that I like to think of it is this way. If you're, again, the apple thing. If you were born an apple and you expected, because you're this apple and everybody's talking highly of you, you expect everyone to like you. And then one day when this person comes along and says, I like all these vegetables and fruits, except EXC, except this apple tree, then you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna try to convince this person to see, well, how can I convince this person to accept me? Versus that person is giving you an opportunity to own who you are, to accept ACC who you are. So I guess like the whole point is like, you know, don't expect people to accept you, and you know, accept that people are gonna reject you. Sometimes the only thing we can do is just accept ourselves, and either we have two options: either let go of our expectations or expect the unexpected and accept it. Yeah. That's the best way you handle rejection.
I like that. Yo, yeah, man, that's once you get over it, like, okay, like once you get over that, man, then it's like you have so much confidence.
Dude,
I don't
it's a byproduct.
Yeah, it's like you don't like, right. Like a lot of people don't like me. I get that.
Well, fuck you for those of you. But
it's like if I was exactly what they liked, then there would be a whole nother group of people who did.
Right, you can't please everyone.
No one gets unanimous praise, right? So I just like fuck it, man. This is like I mean honestly like. Just be who you are, man. There's some people who like you, some people won't.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
And too many people are afraid to be themselves. They're walking around eggshells because they're afraid to lose the respect or the reputation or what. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I shared this with you before. Speaking about rejection and self-esteem and confidence, I consider myself a very confident person. I could get up on stage in front of 5,000 to 10,000 people and do my thing. Yeah. A lot of people would be, they'll buy into the illusion. Oh, you saw he saw a fine girl. It's like, wait, should we hold? You want to spit some game? You want to do your thing? So, a lot of people think, if they see me on stage, they're like, man, this guy is confident. He's charismatic. Yo, how does he do it? Yeah. But in reality, it's who am I when no one's looking at me. If I got the most beautiful gift wrapped, like a box wrapped, and it looks amazing, when you open it up, are you gonna see anything there, or is it gonna be empty? That was my thing. So I had fake confidence, but I had very low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? Because simply my father disowned me because I didn't follow his religion.
So you put on like almost like a mask.
I put on, yes, yeah. And I believe, let's say, truth be told, for me, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm really good at putting on a fucking mask. So well that I could manipulate any person that I come in front of and just ship-shaped, like almost like become a snake. And it wasn't until March 14th, 2014, I had my YouTube channel, and the title of my video was My Secret Addiction. And it was something, I've built a reputation the past couple of years for being this motivational, positive dude who would never say a curse word. Oh. Right? I was like a goody-goody. And then I shared, I was like, my secret addiction, that I was addicted to porn.
Oh, really?
I was addicted to porn.
That's an addiction?
Well, but we can go in. That's another video. If you guys want to go in, we could come back.
How much is too much? How do I know if I'm addicted?
Well, let me just say this. Try to stop for a month.
Nope.
Okay. So stop.
Stop watching it or stop making it.
No, there's nothing wrong.
It's on the opposite.
Yo. Well, hey, you do you, bro. This has been my journey. I respect you. Do your thing.
I'm just trying to get some clarity.
No. So that was my thing, right? It was the mask that I had to break through, and dude, for 5 years I've been trying to stop it.
Oh shit.
And I couldn't. And we talk about empowering ourselves. Well, how empowered am I if I say that I want to stop something, but I really can't, and I put up a front that I say, oh, I can.
Right. You're in charge.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't really even about porn. That's a distraction. It was more about me and my self of empowerment. Yeah. I felt victimized. Like I didn't know what to do. And if I'm being honest too, it was more about me seeking validation. You know what I'm saying? Which is another thing that gets in the way of confidence. People, just because you're good with girls, just because you're good with making money, just because you're good at getting on stage or on camera, does not mean that you're true to yourself. You could be just doing all this shit to validate yourself, and it could be another distraction because mommy and daddy didn't love you.
Yeah, and that's an addiction as well. Like you see people doing all this stuff for likes and different.
Which I'm guilty of at times.
Oh yeah,
we're all humans.
I mean, yeah, you got people. So certain amount of people have to like what you do for. Like just to sell anything, people have to like you and trust you to sell to run a business.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, it can become compulsive.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's don't be trapped by human behavior. The patterns, you like that. Just be aware of the patterns. Whatever your pattern is, it could be anything. No judgment to the substance or the behavior. If you have a specific pattern, if you're interested in growing, becoming the most strongest, best, authentic version of yourself, then be aware of what your blind spots are. Don't try to compare. Be like, oh, if this guy does it, then I should be doing it. Because that's another thing. Comparing people. So that's what yourself.
That's the whole other thing. Yeah. I wanted to think about. I'm sorry, man. What you said about that's cool that you that transparency about how you love jacking off and shit because
well, there's a difference between masturbating and watching porn and masturbating. So
I like it too. Yeah, no, it's the transparency, man. That's like so, man, because so many people are so fake. The fact that you were willing to share that with everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like I go out of my way to be as transparent as possible, just because it's so good. Like, now, what if someone found out that you had that before? Like,
no,
you didn't say it.
So
that would have been so much worse.
Let me tell you something which is crazy, because sometimes. Okay, let me preface this. So after I did that video, it reached a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I had a following at that time, and I had a quote unquote reputation, right? I lost 85% of my business.
Really?
All the gigs that I had booked on my calendar canceled. They dropped. And I knew that this was going to happen, but it was a necessary sacrifice. Sometimes a professional sacrifice is important for personal liberation. I'm not gonna try to hold a fucking mask just so I can win everybody's acceptance and approval.
Exactly. No, that's why. Yeah, man. And so it's like, what if, like, okay, for example, if I say that, I would lose zero business.
Right, because you started,
everyone knows I'm a fucking.
You're authentic
weirdo
to who you were in the beginning. I wasn't.
If I told them I didn't watch porn, they'd be like, what? I lose business because of that. You know,
right.
It's like Tiger Woods versus like what happened to Tiger Woods versus like someone like Charlie Sheen.
Right.
Charlie Sheen is like, oh yeah, it's fucking Charlie.
Right.
And still watch the show though, you know. But like, I'm saying because Tiger was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So but then you feel freer, like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, honestly, I went through like an identity crisis. So I felt like I was, if I had an image and an identity like a caterpillar, and I was a really good caterpillar, right? And then after I shared and I said I killed this identity that I had, I went into this cocoon where I got really depressed and I was confused. And during this time, both my father disowned me and my mother, who I just reunited after being separated. No, but all these different things started happening. So it's amazing. It's the moment you say, that's it. I'm not gonna front anymore, and I'm gonna take a stand. God, universe, here I am. I'm showing up. Right. The moment that happens, people, places, and things will gonna test you. And they're gonna show up to see, well, how committed are you to your own development, to your own self-worth? You know, are you gonna cop out again? Are you gonna be someone that you're not? We'll see. And in almost everything, I went through like a tornado. Abandonment, rejection, disown, all that kind of stuff. And then to me, that's what kind of built my self-esteem and confidence in the inside out, because I'm like, I can't be dependent on the validation that I get from YouTube views or the people that I have surrounding me. Even my wife, I can't be dependent on them. It's me. At the end of the day, no one's gonna accept or approve of me the way that I can accept and approve of myself.
And that's why your dad, you say, I don't know if you want to share that.
No, I'll share. I'm open to it.
Right, because your dad, when you married your wife, you didn't make her convert to Islam.
Yeah, so I've been with my wife. She's my high school sweetheart. So we've known each other for like since I was 15. I'm 27 now, and on my 10-year anniversary,
just like Elliot,
on my 10-year anniversary, I proposed to her. You know, and so I invited my dad, who's very religious in Islam. I invited him to come to the wedding, and he was like, "Well, are you going to get married in a mosque? Are you Muslim or are you not Muslim?" And that was a scary point for me, because I've never been transparent with him, because I was trying to save whatever relationship that I had left with him. So I would walk on eggshells.
But yeah. So the relationship you had was based off.
It was fake. It was fake. It was fake, and that's my responsibility. Yeah. And so then I was like, I told him, and he's like, "It's my duty as a Muslim father. You know, you're not my son."
Yeah.
And that hit me hard. And that was the same time when I just reunited with my mom. This all happened within the past 2 years. Yeah. This is new. This is still fresh for me. And so that's when I went through like therapy, and I went through like, that's when I kind of like connected with Elliot, and we did bioenergetics, and you know, he helped me out through this stuff. It was literally my journey of becoming a man from being a boy. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the confidence part and self-esteem comes.
Man, but that's so beautiful, man, because like, to me, because it's like if you were in a mask and you put up this avatar, this facade,
right,
and people like you for it, they don't like you.
Right.
They like this image,
right?
That this thing that you, this avatar, it's not real,
right?
It's not real. It's like it's your representative. It's a thing,
right?
You know, like it's not who you are.
Yeah.
And so even if they do like that, that thing is like, it doesn't make you feel good.
Right.
That you shouldn't seek your validation for others, but like that's not even validation of you. It's validation of this fake image you put out. So like, but if you're just real, and people like you for that, that actually feels better. Like, oh man, people like me who I really am. Like, that's what people always tell me. Oh, Brandon, you need to be more professional. Don't talk like that. Stop cursing. All this. And I'm just like, yo,
this is me.
This is
take
me,
it or leave
man.
it.
Yeah,
I'm an apple tree.
I'm a fucking man.
Don't compare me to an orange.
Yo, I'm about them apples, man.
But that's Elliot even brought this up too. I saw a video that he put on his channel. The reason why you have the connection and the influence that you have is because you're authentic.
Oh yeah, he said that.
Authenticity trumps everything at the end of the day, in marketing, in relationships, in business. If you get into a relationship and you try to act like you're someone that you're not, whether it be a customer or a person, at the end of the day, it's gonna bite you in the ass. Period.
If nothing else, you'll resent them. You'll start to resent them for making you, or not making you, but you'll resent them because you don't feel like you can be yourself around them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So it's freedom.
Yeah, man. That's freedom. It's just liberation, man.
Yeah, and no one can give that to you except yourself.
Yeah, man. It's like this is a great book. I recommend it to you. Radical Honesty.
Yeah, you did recommend.
That's my shit.
I gotta check it out.
Just because. I mean, like he goes in like his shit is even like makes me like, oh shit, I don't want to go that far. Like telling your parents every bad thing you did.
Oh, I had to do that. School. Oh, I had to do that.
What was that like?
It was very revealing and uncomfortable. And when you confront someone with the shit that they don't want to take responsibility for, it can get really ugly and dark. Oh. And in that space, you got to make sure you're a light in darkness. So you gotta. That's why you can't go into something like that without you being secure and confident in yourself.
Oh, not everything they did, everything you did.
Well, it's the same. Well, it's the same thing. So I had to do the same thing. Oh. So I said, well, this is what I feel like I want to blame you for, right? And I owned up to that, and I say, this is my responsibility. I expected all this shit from you. Yeah. I expected you to be the father that I wanted. I expected you to be the mother that I've always wanted, that I felt like I deserved. And you weren't that. But that's not your problem. That's mine. I apologize for that.
You're responsible for your own.
Exactly.
You're responsible for your own emotions.
Yes.
Right? Like somebody asked me, Brandon, what do you... I know this is a side story.
No, let's go.
Like somebody was saying, yo, Brandon, what... Because I did a video on how to control your emotions, and I was talking about meditation. Again, we'll get into that. Yeah. Meditation helps me control... I mean... I still struggle with it.
We all do.
But like I'd probably be but anyway, they said, what if somebody offends your mother or your family member? It's like, well, listen, they probably weren't even, that family member probably wasn't even there, right? They weren't offended. You were offended. You're responsible for your emotions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're responsible for it. And if you allow people to make you feel something, then they're in control, and we all fall victim. Right. Like this weekend, I had something happened, and I was just like, I didn't go off the deep end. I held it all in, right? Instead of flipping over tables and shit like I wanted to. Like there's a story in the Bible about Jesus flipping over tables and shit because he was pissed.
Oh, I saw a meme about that.
That's my
That's why
they don't teach that. They don't teach that shit. They never talk about that.
He didn't love his neighbors at that point.
He was throwing them tables, throwing that shit around. But that's my favorite part, man. Somebody post where that is. I forget the verse, man. It's the awesome part. They said, "You ever seen somebody flip over a table in real life?"
Me, nah.
Nah, man. Nobody. Almost no one has because it's fucking crazy. But anyway. It's a good point. It's a good.
That's what Jesus would do.
That's what Jesus would do. Flip this table over. But so I didn't do that. And you know what? It made me like I was tired the next day, like physically tired
because all the energy you're trying to manage.
From I think it was just. Well, you ever read a book called Willpower?
No.
Okay, so in the book they talk about how using discipline actually depletes. Like they tested it. It depletes your glycogen reserves.
Okay.
So like me doing nothing. Like took as much energy as if I worked out all fucking day, right? To use it. That's why people come home and they flip out on their spouse because they've been using so much energy mental energy all day, and now they're just out of it.
I could also see it's like the suppression of energy. It takes a lot of energy in and of itself.
Because I had to exercise decorum in this setting, So like the next day, man, I kind of slept all day, because I didn't blow up. But anyway, what's the point I'm making? Oh, I lost control at that point. So you want to try to control your emotions as much as you can. Like some shit's gonna be out of control. There's gonna be times you're gonna lose it. Like even Jesus lost it. I was just joking. I don't want Christians to. That really did happen in the Bible. But if even Jesus flipped out, then you can expect that you're. Yeah. I'm not part of it. I'm an atheist, but just some interesting stuff in both that book and the Quran.
I think it's interesting too. Like when it comes to like emotional health and mastery. It's how can you express what's true for you without being programmed by your emotions? So what's the real behind the facade, right? So it's like the way that I like to think of it is like if I'm hurt, what's the truth behind the anger? Yeah. What's the truth behind the fear? What's the truth behind whatever it is? And do I have the courage to express that without trying to become fake? Right, can I be real? And just be transparent? And I feel like that's why radical honesty is so effective. Is because you're like, straight from the get-go, you're like, this is what's true for me. I know you're not gonna like it. I don't like it, but this is my boundary. Right. Don't cross the fucking line.
Yeah, that's how it was with the thing I got upset with. I was telling everybody, I was like, listen, I know this is not gonna make a lot of sense to you. I know you're not gonna get it, and I don't care if you get it or not. I just need you to understand it.
Because you need to express for yourself.
This is how I feel about this thing, and I'm not gonna flip out. But I just need everyone to understand that this can't happen again. And I feel like that was the best response, because that's what meditation helps me do. Like it helps me respond instead of react.
Yes.
Had I not been meditating, I would have reacted, and it would have been a motherfucking problem.
I hear you, dude.
But because I meditated so long, I responded.
Right.
But I didn't react. I handled it. I mean, honestly, I wish I could have handled it better. Right. I wish I could feel less of that. But. Yeah, I mean, it's still better than what it could have been.
Yeah, that's the powerful thing about meditation. It's like, as I said before, it increases the space. It almost feels as if you had a button that you can say slow motion, and you slow down everything that's going on in your life. That's what meditation does for me. It's like, okay, hold up. As you said, you don't react, you respond because you feel like you have the time and the intelligence in that moment. You're not reactive to anything.
I would have totally exacerbated that situation.
Explode.
A few years ago.
Right.
Like I would have been.
I hear you.
Sending angry texts, yelling at people, fucking up relationships. But I didn't do that, and I think it's meditation. You know what I'm saying? Like I come from a place where volatility is the norm.
Right.
Like
that was the identity you had to survive.
Yeah, that's what's normal, man. It's like, oh man, like, all right, he stepped on your shoes, man, shoot him. Like that's
holy shit. Good thing I didn't know you back then.
I never shot anybody for that.
Right. No, but I hear you, man.
But I mean, like I have a history of like real violent, like that's. I mean, but everyone where I'm from has that.
Right.
So like I'm just constantly at war with that. With my, upbringing plays a big role in who you become. So I'm constantly trying to. I recognize that as a flaw.
Right.
And I'm constantly trying to.
Well, I'm gonna challenge that real quick. I don't think it's a flaw. I think who you became was necessary for that part of you during that time in order for you to survive. But now, what you're growing into, it's not serving you any longer. Yeah. So you gotta be like, so don't say flaw, because I say this all the time. But the truth is, if you when you say, oh, it's a flaw, it's something that I gotta fix, or you're not fucking broken. If anything, you're just growing. If the only crack that you got is from the seed trying to get out of the ground. Damn. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I think or
them rocks that I was. No,
I didn't know where you were going, but I knew it wasn't going somewhere.
No, that's a good one, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, no, that because
you could drop the mic and leave if you want after that.
Alright, done. It's like preach. That's it. But yeah, man.
No. That's all. One of my business partners, Nate. He always says, "Hey, man, what got us out of Egypt is not going to get us to the promised land. The same stuff that got us out of
my man Nate.
Hey, big.
That's
Nate,
what's up.
Nasty Nate.
That's good.
He says that all the time, and that sticks with you, right? Like, again, I'm not religious at all. Like,
but the principles are valuable.
No, I mean, yeah, man. Like fables, man, have
metaphors.
Like, a lot of good. Like you can learn something from Transformers.
Absolutely. No, you can.
Yeah,
Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
Optimus
shit. Prime had.
Yeah. Now talk about a role model. Optimus Prime is the shit. Who needs Shia LaBeouf? Fuck that.
Optimus Prime, man, said some real shit.
Right.
Now again, I don't believe in that Autobots and Decepticons, but Optimus Prime said some real shit.
You just drop a bomb there.
Yeah. What the fuck am I talking about?
Meditation.
Oh yeah. And it really just keeps me like calmer than I used to be,
Right.
which is still probably more reactive than most people. But
And that's fine.
I'm just working. I'm just trying to be.
And we're all a work in progress. A tree is no more valuable than a seed. They're just at different developmental stages, right? But it owns its value. It knows that it's a tree, right? So as it grows, there's no shame. There's no beating around the bush. There's no blame. It is what it is, where it is, how it is, and who it is. And that's you're owning that. That's what authenticity is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I appreciate people like you doing what you're doing, sharing your truth, however that looks like, in the moment, because people can connect with you on that level. They connect with the human being inside of you.
Exactly. And you know, people just, especially if you're doing anything in sales or marketing, like the more you just expose yourself, like it's gonna be better. Like it might be hard, and it's like I know some of the stuff I say or do. Like my family's like, oh man, I can't show this to my friends, or I'm like, well, don't, you know, I don't care. Those are your issues.
Right.
Don't let people do that hobby where they try to give you their problems.
They guilt trip you.
Yeah, don't let people give you their problems.
Right.
It's the hot potato. You're not giving
like that's you. I ain't playing this game.
Man, that's it's gonna be interesting to see how you deal with that.
Right.
You know, but that's what my mom said. Oh, you cursing and like I'm like, Mom, you curse more than me. You curse more than me. She really does. I mean, she's from the projects, man. Like, so she, her and her sister, they curse way more than me.
Right.
And like she cursed when you just cursed right now. Like when you say it to me, like you gotta show these fucking videos with you cursing and shit.
Like, why aren't you practicing what you're preaching?
Yeah, I'm like, listen. That's gonna be interesting how you deal with that, Mom. You know, but I mean, I don't let her give me my problems either, and that might seem harsh. That's where like the whole radical honesty thing can be harsh, but I think people appreciate that more. In like if like one of my friends says, so how was that, man? That's pretty bad, man. That was awful. That was awful. Like it's just better than me yesing him. You know, that's like he might get mad or he might feel something, but it's more valuable information. And then it's like when you're like that with yourself, especially if you're a salesman or like if you do any kind of marketing, like if like people know, man, like I'll post videos of me falling or hurting myself or you know and so it's almost like, man, Brandon won't lie to us about this shit because he's fucking showed us he's done crazier. He's showed us more crazier shit in person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they learn to trust you because they're like, hey, it's flaws and everything else.
Yeah, because this is who he is. So like, it'd be weird for me to lie about this little thing when I done told you all types of crazy shit about myself. You know, and I think there's value in that both from a marketing perspective and just in life, man. Like, because people come for me for the honest opinion. Like, when somebody else might lie to them or say something to make them feel good or just avoid me, man, that shit was awful. You got to do better than that, man. It's just not going to work. And like, a lot of people don't like that because they want to make them feel good about it. I don't want to make them feel good. I want to make them better.
But then you ain't being truthful to yourself.
Yeah. It's like I'm not your therapist. I mean, I just want, like, if you ask me for an evaluation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, this is what it is, you know?
I hear you.
And they appreciate that, man. Like, and I forget what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, okay. But the meditation helps with that. Like, I remember me and you were talking, and I hope you could tell them about this, how you learn to accept I didn't think about this, you said it, but like meditation, because I do Vipassana meditation where I just focus on my breath and try not to think in it. Right. And you just learn to accept right now. Yeah. I didn't think about it.
Presence.
And that can, I'm sure that would help authenticity, right? Because now it's like, hey man, I accept this moment, and if you can just accept this moment and be free about it, then that's got to help you become more authentic in general.
Absolutely,
right?
100%. I think so. There are a bunch of different meditations out there. The ones that I'm familiar that I've practiced was Transcendental Meditation, and it's amazing, but it's $2,500, you know, to learn.
You gotta learn. It's weird. Not weird. It's weird. It's like you gotta have somebody give you a mantra.
Right, a specific mantra that's based on your age, your birth, the location of where you were born, and what have you. So, but it's effective for a lot of people, and I know people. It's a lot of good stuff. A lot of celebrities are doing it.
Studies that show.
Yeah, it increases the alpha brain wave state going in there, and then there is I've tried mindfulness meditation, and that's amazing because it makes you very aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. I've tried dynamic meditation, Osho's meditation, where it's like your body goes through a certain emotional release or catharsis to get everything out, and then you can...
Red Bull.
I wish you guys could smell that shit right here. But there's like the dynamic meditation.
What Ellie does?
But
like, is that what that's?
yeah. Where he just like just let himself go. So the purpose behind that is we live in a very hyper-stimulant world. So to sit down and just close your eyes and empty your thoughts is almost impossible because you're constantly going. Mindfulness meditation isn't what it used to be. Silence meditation isn't what it used to be because we live in a different time. So that's why dynamic meditation is there. Then I've tried like...
You gotta find what works for you, right?
Exactly. For me, sometimes, if I'm being absolutely honest, I don't meditate all the time, and sometimes I fall off the bandwagon. So what gets me back on track is like a guided meditation. It just gives me enough stimulation until I can let go of the training wheels, and I'm good. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've tried some. I think that's a really good place to start because I do for Vipassana with meditation. When you're not familiar, you're just trying to focus on your breath.
Right.
And just trying not to think about nothing but your breath and your mind on wonder. You just bring it back, and it's hard as fuck at first. And I think guided meditation is a really good place to start.
Yeah,
you can get frustrated. I've seen people get mad
because they're like, "Oh, I'm not doing this right. I'm thinking about a thought." Right.
And so like I think guided meditation is a really good place to start. There's an app called Headspace, but it's like $100.
I've tried that.
But you have
I have
a link for them.
Yeah, I have a confidence meditation you guys can get. It's absolutely free. It's a 21-minute guided confidence meditation. You guys can go. There'll be a link down below, or you can go to theconfidenceblueprint.com and check it out. Once I put out my online course, there's going to be a bunch of different meditations specifically for people who struggle with anxiety, people who struggle with self-doubt, rejection, and confidence in general. So those are going to be bonuses that are going to come along with the course. So check it out. I hope you guys use it, consistently every day.
What would be the top 2 things someone can do to become more confident, or maybe just for marketing? Let's say 3. Okay. So I have a good title for the video. So would you say? From what we said, like in summary, like meditation.
So confidence
or self-esteem.
Okay.
However you want to do.
Meditation, 1.
Yeah, a big.
Self-reflection, because those are 2 different things in my opinion. It can be something similar, but they're 2 different things. And transparency.
Transparency, man.
In everything. Business is all about relationships. So if you got, any relationships in general, those 3 things will help enhance and improve and accelerate whatever you want to be, do, or have, period.
This is real talk, man. The homie Money Mike. I call him Money Mike. That's not his name. His name is just Michael. I call him Michael. Like he's like 60 or how old is Mike? Like 60 or 70? He's in his 60s, man. Cool dude, man. White dude. He sold his first internet company for $300 million.
Wow.
No bullshit. And he owns like 10 restaurants in LA. You always see, if you follow me on Instagram, you see I'm always every time I'm in LA, I eat at the Red O because that's Mike's restaurant. That's my homie Mike, and he's a backer in one of the businesses I'm involved in. Like he's one of the backers.
Gotcha.
And we were just having a meeting like in LA, and it was him and Money Mike. I just remember he said, "Listen, man, every business I build, everything I do, it's based on like transparency. Transparency is real important, so let's just put it all in.
Transparency and authenticity trumps everything at the end of the day.
Yeah. And this guy, he sold his first business for $300 million.
That's
and
amazing.
10 restaurants. He's like so.
Money Mike.
Yeah, Money Mike.
Yeah, man.
If you're in LA, go to the Red O. Santa Monica just open, you know what I'm saying? I was at the fucking premiere. If you look at my Day in the Life LA, you can see I was at the premiere. I was at the opening of that shit.
Yo, you wanna do before we close? You got any like bars?
Oh, how you all?
Because you're a musician. Yo, I want to hear this guy rap so bad. You have no idea. Just like 4 bars, bro. I'll drop a beat and you just drop it, man.
Oh shit, man. I haven't rapped in so long. I'm like a retired.
All right, fine. To be continued another time.
I'm retired.
All right, cool. I respect that.
I'm like Jordan, man.
I respect that, dude. Dude, thank you.
I'm playing baseball now. Yeah, I'm like Jordan.
For real?
Like, this is like me playing.
This is you. Okay, gotcha.
Building this business, like, all right, I put down. I put down the ball, man. Now I'm playing a different sport.
I hear that, man. I respect that, dude. I respect that. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate you.
Awesome. Oh yeah. So where can they get the download? Where can they download?
Yeah.
Where can they download the meditation?
theconfidenceblueprint.com, and there will be a link to hopefully
down
there.
And we'll put a link to subscribe to his YouTube, man. He's got real cool shit, man.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I like to do some more shit with you.
Oh yeah, we're definitely. This is just the beginning, bro.
Sounds good,
This is
man.
my brother.
All right,
Appreciate you, bro.
Peace.
How ripped do you want to be? That's a serious question. How ripped do you want to be? What supplement do I use? T-Rex. 100% natural fat burner. It's not a magic pill. Ain't no magic pills, man. If there was a magic pill, then you could take it, put it in the ground, and it'll grow beanstalk and you go to heaven. I'm not gonna try to tell you this is magic. You just eat these pills and you're gonna get ripped. You gotta put in the work. But when you put in the work, you wanna make sure you can get the most out of it. And that's what I use T-Rex for.